Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fly Nubian Queen After Hours. I'm your
That's
host,
right, baby.
Erica. I'm your host, Erica, and my co-host Queen tonight is Tiara Williams, also known as Miss Black Hollywood, actress, producer, boss extraordinaire, and author and singer. You sing too, right?
I do sing. Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. I am excited. Now, usually we're in here and we are primed and pressed and together during the day, but we're not doing that tonight. Now, it's gonna be, oh, my tea. Oh, I don't have my tea. Erica, I gotta get my tea real quick. I gotta get my cup of tea. All right, so I'm gonna get my cup of tea while you explain to them what's going on today. Hold on.
All right, y'all. So what we're going to be doing is I stumbled across an IG. I think I saw it on, I don't remember what I saw it on, but I know I saw it on Instagram. And it's really interesting. Bronx rapper Scarlett, she was on her live and she asked her boyfriend if she looked pretty. And he said, no, not right now. Definitely not right now. Definitely not. You looking a little. And then he decided against what he was going to say at the end, I guess because he realized what he said, but he embarrassed her so bad that she ended the live. And then she came back at some point and said she wasn't going to be doing lives anymore. And this is the question that sparked, this live tonight is how much does physical attraction really matter in a relationship? Now, I don't know how long she's been with this gentleman. I don't think we even know who he is, but we do know her. And she does have a little bit of a complicated backstory. Like she doesn't have a lot of family. She was in foster care and she was abused. That scar on her lip, there's a story behind that. Her brother actually hit her in the face to keep her from coming in what was once their family home. She and her brother brought up in foster care. She did lose both of her parents at some point. And it's just that was mean. It was mean. It was cold-hearted. And like I said, we don't know how long they've been in this relationship, but how much does physical attraction really matter in a relationship? I mean, that's supposed to be your safe space. When I'm not looking my best and I'm in the house, I've been out in the world, did video shoots, walked the runway, did all this stuff, and now you want to come home, take off your bra, take off your wig.
Right? You know what, Erica? Let's play the video. Let's just show
Yes,
let's show the video and then we'll just see what they think. But then also I have my own thoughts about this. So let's just play the video really quick. And
yes.
I'm playing as a moderator slash you know, class correspondent tonight. So here, let's see. I'm gonna share.
Let's see.
No.
No, not right now. Definitely not. Definitely not. Alright.
I don't feel like being on live no more. So your dad don't think I look pretty right now?
Not like right now, but like sometimes. You feel me?
Mm. Well, I don't know what to think about that. You think I'm pretty, baby?
You're beautiful, man. Sometimes.
What that mean?
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes it's right.
Am I pretty right now?
No, not right now. Definitely not right now.
Right. So I just
Yeah.
wanted y'all to get the beginning of it. So I know it cut off. But it was the definitely not right now for me. It was like obviously he knew he had hit a sore spot, right? And then was just still like, no, definitely not. Definitely
Definitely not.
not right now. And then
It's
he
like,
paused and regrouped and then gave him an opportunity again. So what you're saying is, I don't look pretty right now? And he was like, sometimes? Like double, like he stood on business with it,
good
right?
on business, right?
He stood
Yeah.
on business, baby. And now I understand that women don't always look like a model walking out on the runway or to a photo
Mhm.
shoot, but I do believe that there's like something appropriate about knowing that you're on live your girl is famous, or at least a rising star, right?
Yep.
She's in the public eye, and people want to know, what you think, and are, basically are gonna look and judge your relationship. So just
Yes.
for you to allow her to look crazy while you're like, sometime, I mean, you all right. It felt like he did it intentionally, like almost like
Yes.
to take the moment to, I don't know what his status is, but she might earn more money than him. He might be envious of her. He might resent her for
Yes.
some reason we don't know. But to do that, I would feel like he did that on purpose to embarrass me.
Because if, my thing is apparently she goes live quite frequently, and if she wasn't looking her best to go live, why didn't you say, like, look, before we go live, why don't you fix your hair? You look a little crazy right now. I love you, but fix your hair, put on some lip gloss, to save her. It's almost like he just left her on the ledge and then chose to push her off, and it's like, how you land is how you land. I
Yeah.
mean, that was his behavior was ugly. But it
Yeah.
leaves you, to, because she looked confused, and I there was a point where she was rubbing her face, and it was almost like she was thinking,
Yeah.
thinking, and I know that look. She was thinking, all I've done for you, that's that all I've done for you. Because
Hmm.
no doubt, maybe he's in her house, you know, maybe she's making that car payment. Um, you eating her groceries, you are able to access her resources and her network, so
Right.
it kind of makes you think like, was this his way of trying to break up? Because there's a lot of times, when men are ready to end a relationship and the woman kind of gets the hint but doesn't want to get the hint and is just trying to hold on without letting go. Sometimes men will do something or say something extremely drastic to get you to go away, like the extreme last straw embarrassment. And maybe that's what he was trying to do. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure. I can't call it, but I know this young lady has been through a lot. And so for you to embarrass her, you know that there might be some triggers that she has about how she feels about herself, how, her self-esteem, all of that. Like all of that is part of this. It takes an aware it takes a man that's aware. It sounds like he's toxic as fuck, right? There's that. He's
Toxic.
toxic, and she's, sometimes, like, I mean, she's not a hardcore rapper, but if you've ever heard her rap before, she doesn't sound like the softest
The
woman,
soft.
right? But I'm sure that was a moment that she, she has this, rough exterior, but on the inside she's sensitive. She wants to hear what every woman wants to hear.
Nobody
I'm
wants to hear.
beautiful. I'm beautiful. You only have eyes for me. That was the
Yes.
moment. I don't know what I guess we got to know in the chat, y'all. What did you guys think of that? Did you think he was intentionally trying to embarrass her? Do you think that he just was keeping it real? Because here's another thing. You live in New Jersey. New
Yep.
Yorkers have a tendency to be brutally honest.
Brutally honest about everything.
Do you about everything? Do you think this was a brutally honest moment?
I think this moment was intentional. He was intentional. I think it was strategic because she's comfortable. She's in a vulnerable place. She's in her robe. She's got her hair pulled back in a bun. She looks like, I had a hard day, probably went out, made some money. She did a show. She's tired. She's laying down, doing what she always does in a routine. There's nothing different. I always go live in my pink robe with my hair pulled back, and you're over here on the side. This always happens, and it seemed like it was a vulnerable moment for her where it was just convenient for him to take that stab at her. I also think, leads you to wonder, are you in love with the celebrity of her? Because who she is as the celebrity is not who she is at home. So are you in love with the pretty girl that's in the pictures? Or are you in love with or are you dating? We don't even know if he loves her. Are you dating the pretty girl in the pictures that you see on the red carpet? Or are you dating this woman who's sitting here next to you, helping you with your bills, being there to support you, and having kind words to say to you? Who are you with? That's really the question.
That is the question. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot of men out here chasing clout for sure, using women to
definitely.
get what they can get out of them, especially again, if they are traumatized, if they've had a hard upbringing. Those things matter. Like
Yes,
men take advantage of women typically like her. I know
yes,
again has a soft exterior, but if she's like again, in that moment where she's like, "Hey, babe, do you think I'm beautiful?" And he says, "Sometime." Okay, so here's the question for you, Erica. Do you think that we always have to be attracted to men that we date? Do we always have? Do we have to be attracted to? Do you find yourself attracted? The last man you was with, was you attracted to him all the time?
See, he was a good looking man. He was a very good looking man. However, I was not attracted to some of his behavior.
Mm,
Yeah, some things he would do, his behavior would be ugly to me.
okay.
Very ugly. And I would make it known, like, you acting real ugly right now. A person's behavior, I don't care how drop dead gorgeous they are, for me, a person's behavior can turn them into the wildebeest, the ugliest thing on planet Earth for me.
Is
I don't
it?
care how fine he is. But yeah, I mean, I always thought he was good looking, but then towards the end, when it was clearly falling apart, and I was pulling away and he was pulling away, it got to a point where I'm like, I don't even like the way you chew. I don't like the way you stir the coffee in your cup. I don't like
Baby.
the way you stand. Like now I'm nitpicking.
Yes.
Not nitpicking. But
Yes.
for the most part, I always thought he was a good looking man. But I never. But there were times where his behavior was such a turnoff, where I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what?
Yeah.
But another thing, it's really mind-boggling because there are some men, because I've heard a lot of men as of late, they want us to come home and they don't want us in the bed with all the makeup on and the hair. They want to wake up to the same person that they went to bed with. So it's like there's a double standard, but it's like, well, when do you want that? Because
Yeah.
clearly he didn't want that then.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny that I saw this meme once that said like natural women, men don't really want natural women. And if my daughter walks in here, she's hanging with her friends outside. It's after dark, baby. This is what's happening. But
It's
if she walk in the house, sorry. But men don't really want women that are natural. It's like, have you ever seen that when the makeup artist does like bare face and then it's like
yes,
natural but natural with makeup on, and then that, and the guys was like, I like the natural look.
yeah,
Pointing at the one with the woman with the makeup on.
with the makeup
Um,
on.
somebody said that hi, happy Friday, everyone. My first after dark. It's actually our first after dark. So welcome. We all doing this thing together. Um somebody said, let's see, where was it? Women like what they hear and men like what they see. And that could never, I
Mm,
mean, that's the truth,
that
right?
is the
Men are
truth.
visual. They want to see you look fine and put up and propped up all day
All
long.
the time.
Um, and women can fall in love. That's why women can fall in love with a man long distance, right? There was a guy that I used to talk to in Atlanta, and he was like, "You really can fall in love with just hearing my voice every night, but I need to see you. Like I need to be in your face. I need
Yeah.
to, you know." So it's like women can fall in love with words, and men fall in love with what they see. And so if
Mhm.
that's the case, then if a man is not always and completely attracted to you, is it a fantasy, ladies? And I'm talking to everybody in the chat, all 170 people in here. Is it a fantasy to think that somebody is going to find you attractive every single moment of the day? And if you do, like, how do you all combat that? Like, how do you keep it visual for the men? How do you keep it sexy? How do you keep it sexy, Erica?
I mean, there are days when the hair is not done. I mean, I got a whole bunch. This coif is not cooperating. I'm sweating. It's hot. This hair is thick, and I'm like, Jesus. When I go to the gym, I look the absolute worst because I sweat like a dog, and the gym is the meat market. And I'm like, I'm not the one here trying to meet somebody because I'm looking my worst. We can't
Mm,
expect women. You can't expect us to look our best if we're not doing what it takes to get there to the best. Because you know what? Putting that work in, you're going to look like, oh, damn, that's you. I mean, it's
right.
just, I was a trainer for 20 years and my head was always all over my head. I was always sweaty. I was always a mess. I mean, it just is what it is. But when I got dressed to got put that fit on, mother is fitting.
It's
I mean,
popping.
so it's like you got to take the good with the bad. But for women, it's always that pressure. It's always
Always.
that pressure because for a man, he can just go get a lineup and he good to go.
Right. And that's all they do, right? And then here's the thing. We got all this competition. I mean, nobody likes to admit that the women on social media, even
Yeah.
though they're not real for them, is
Hmm.
like real in his mind. Like, why can't you be like uh Thought Candy 999, right? Where she's always like pulled up and pushed out and
Yeah.
all of that, and you sitting there like this. I ain't got no bra on. You just in your natural and raw state.
Yeah.
And you feel like, and I think that's what is making women, normal women, natural women, get their bodies done and their lips done and their all of these things.
Hmm.
I was talking to a really good friend of mine, and she was talking about her getting a BBL. Now, this really good friend of mine, y'all, is 52 years old,
I know one.
and she went and got a BBL. Now, I
Yeah,
understand,
I know one.
right? Like, I understand. I live in Hollywood. I mean, that's what people do here. Like, people gonna keep themselves snatched to work on
Yep.
this television, to be in these films, or even like we were just saying, to go to the gym. I mean,
Yeah.
girls be looking super cute at the gym. I be in
Super
there looking rough,
cute.
raggedy. Just because I went to work out, I didn't think it was a thing. But
Thing.
yeah, yes, but still getting breasts done and butt
Hmm.
enlarged and all of these things just to appeal to a man, when our men supposed to love us, or at least like fall in love with the insides of us. Like, is that is that still a thing?
You know what? Sometimes, and a lot of times, I think men they want to have it. They want to have it all. I mean, they want to have it all. They want you to be the arm candy. They want you to be, superwoman. You got to have a cape. You got to be arm candy. You got to be super mom. You got to be, super wife. You got to be the superhero. And sometimes you just like I said before, you just want to come in, take off your bra, and just want to have some quiet. I want a glass of wine. I want to put my feet up. No, my hair's not combed right now. The wig is sitting over there. I'm gonna get back to her. But right now, I have to take care of me because me is tired. And
That's
I
correct.
don't think that a lot of men realize that sometimes women are just tired. And a lot of times men forget. They forget what it was like to live at home with mom. I mean, back in the day, my mother still is flawless. 76 years old, working two jobs. I mean, my mother is gorgeous. She looks about 60. And I
Mm,
remember my mother was always put together. Always. And there were days she'd have that 1 or 2 days. It's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, nothing. I just want to be in my house.
yeah, yeah,
And that's where this young lady was. She was in her safe space. However, I think we talked about this earlier, is that, social media, yet again, when you put yourself out here, this is not the first time this young man has shown out. He has said other things to her that were off putting. This is not his first time. It is not. I refuse to believe it because he was comfortable. He was matter of fact. He was indignant and he repeated himself. And did you notice that his voice elevated? Like he got louder to make sure that he could be heard. So that
yeah,
he could be heard. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think we really need to start revisiting relationships and social media. I don't think they go together. They make strange bedfellows. My last relationship, I'm completely honest with you, we were never friends on social media. I never friended him. He never friended me. And we were together 4 years. Never.
Mm.
I don't, yeah, social media, you got your social
It,
media profile. That's cute. But yeah, no, I don't, no, I'm not doing that.
yeah, full of grace. Oh, I don't know where she went. Um, let's see. Full of grace and truth says, I think the feminine energy that my wife brings all the time keeps me attracted to her. The way she speaks soft tones and carries herself and her personality. Um, okay. You know what though? You look old school. I mean, oh, not old, but old school.
Old
Like,
school.
you look
But with
like you married
those
for
traditional
love.
values.
Like,
Yes.
how long have you been married to your wife? Like, that's the question I have for you. right?
But remember back in the day, you ever see like the 80s and well, back further than that, like the movies like Claudine, the 60s and the 70s, those house jackets those women had on, those women kept a man and they had a house full of kids, and those women had their house dresses. But you better believe that their refrigerator was stocked full, everybody was eating, that man came home and brought his check, and now we gotta be, flossed all the day, all day.
We got to look like video vixens all
We
day
gotta look
long.
like real vixens.
Listen, after you reset, I want to add somebody else to this
Oh,
conversation. She's a really good friend of mine,
oh my
vocalist.
God.
She loves pop culture and all the things. She also
Yes.
works in the entertainment industry. Actress, singer,
Yes.
American Idol, all the things.
Oh my
My
God.
very best friend. So I are you ready to come on? To give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah, she's ready. Okay, Erica, I need you to reset, like
Yes.
reset us and tell us, tell them where we are and what we doing.
Listen, this is Fly Nubian Queen After Dark. My name is Erica. Oh my God, beautiful skin. We have a we have an extra guest with us tonight. We got to get that settled with the audio. But to get when we're going live, make sure you text Queens. If you want to know when we're going live, please text Queens, Queens, at 87948. And also check us out during the week, Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock. And you can catch us on Spotify. Tune in, make sure you do that. But for all of the updates, for every time that we're going live, text Queens, because we will definitely let you know what is going on. Again, it's Queens, plural with an S, Queens, at 87948. And again, I know we're not talking about money tonight, but we might get in there because, I think girl is financing the house over there. If
Mhm.
you want some free financial resources and courses, check us out over at flynubianmoney.com. All right, Tiara, I see we have our special guest here. Hello, how are you?
Oh, she's muted. Uh oh. Uh oh. You sound crunchy.
So do you. So do you guys. I can hear like
Oh,
static when
no.
I listen to you.
So when you're muted, we can't hear no crunchy. Okay, I'm gonna unmute her. You might have
Oh
to go out and come back in. You might have to go out and come back in. It's okay.
I wonder how I make it stop because I hear it on you guys' end too.
Hmm.
I wonder if maybe if I put my headphones in, I'll come back.
Okay.
I'll come back.
Okay. We're
Okay.
just gonna take you. Okay.
We'll be waiting for you.
Right. So while she figures that out, Erica. Well, she didn't have to leave. She left.
She just left.
Um. Okay. So I want to get back to Full of Grace and Truth. Full of Grace and Truth have been married for 5 years.
And how long have you
5
known
years to
her? Come
forever.
on, Grace and Truth. But you know what? I like the name, Full of Grace and Truth. That says so much.
Yeah. I love
That
that.
says
I
so
love
much.
that. I
Yeah,
love that.
because
Well, congratulations,
yes,
baby, and
congratulations.
many more to you. But I'm gonna tell you, it is ghetto in these streets. Like
Yeah,
men, what I think
they're
that men are
bitches.
just a little different these days, and like, and I think it's conditioning. I think our men are being conditioned to
Yes.
hate women. Hate women. They're
Yeah.
not to protect them. I mean, I don't know how many stories I've seen where a man is just like, I wouldn't protect my baby mama. She ain't my baby mama no more. I only care about the kids, or I wouldn't give her money, or out she what like there's all of these men on the internet that are so
Mhm.
bitter. So to see something like this, and I'm not saying it's all men, because men represent around here, but
Yes.
like we see a lot of men that it just they're spewing it's so much hate towards
Yeah.
black women. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I don't know. And I don't know where that came from or when it began, because I remember growing up. I mean, I got some time on you, I'm a little older, but I remember, black women were once celebrated. Men would come out of a door and see a woman and they would hold the door. They would help women carry their groceries to the car. I mean, and now it's like you walking out the door behind somebody and they will let the door close on you. And I
You
don't know.
strong, you equal.
Right. And you know what? And I think that's another stigma that men are getting and running with, is that term strong black woman. And brothers, please realize that is not something that, that's not something we created. We didn't want that. Women don't want to have to be strong. We want that soft life, but we are placed in predicaments that require strength. So it's draining. It's not something I don't want to take out my own garbage. I don't. I wish I had
No,
somebody to take the garbage out for me. And you know what? It's my garbage. Ain't nobody in here but me. And I
no.
gotta go down.
But when you know what, when my boo come over, he got to take out the garbage. He pump my
What?
gas, like but he don't cook, right? So it's like he don't
Good
cook,
balance.
but like I
Yeah.
cook and he pumped the gas, So it's
Right.
like you gotta figure out a man that's gonna help you trade it off.
Girl, my struggle when I was in LA for that year, I had my car shipped from Jersey and didn't realize that I had to pump my own gas because being a Jersey girl, you know, you can't pump your gas in Jersey. It's against the law. New Jersey and Oregon are the only two states where it is against the law to pump your gas. So when I got to LA, I had the biggest awakening ever of pumping my own gas, and my struggle was real. So yeah, I understand that getting somebody out there to pump your. God bless you, sis. Bless you.
So okay, so Trinice,
Can you
you've seen
hear
the
me
video.
okay?
Oh goodness, you sound like you're underwater. Let's hear you one more time. Maybe if
It's
me and
so
Erica,
crazy.
maybe if we mute ourselves, we'll see if we can hear you. Let's test this thing out.
Okay. Hello? Can you
Okay,
hear
so
me
that's the
now?
trick. So that's the trick. We'll mute ourselves when you talk.
Oh no, that's
I
crazy
know.
though.
I know. So listen, you've seen the video, right?
Which
There's a
video
little
are we
crackle,
talking
but it's
about?
not as bad. So it might be Erica. I'm gonna blame Erica.
Oh, oh,
All right. So you got you got so you saw the video, and we're gonna replay it in a few minutes. But you saw the video of this young man basically demeaning his girlfriend in the middle of a live. Did you see it, or do you
yeah.
need to see it again? Tell us what your
No.
thoughts. Tell us what your initial thoughts were, and I'm gonna mute myself while you talk.
First of all, thanks for having me tonight. Nice to meet you, Erica. Tiara and I talk like this all the time, so this is nothing new. Um, the first thing, and I think I said this to Tiara, my heart broke for her because I saw I saw her turn into a little girl. Immediately, she was small, and it tore me up because there's so many young people that um, I've been around on a regular basis. I know T has too. You probably have as well. And the younger generation, this younger generation somehow um, they've lost their validity outside of likes, social media, and men. And and on those platforms, that's all we hear all day. How to be a good girlfriend, who's beautiful, who's not, light skin, dark skin issues, who's the best rapper, who whatever it is, there's always a poll about how to be a better woman somehow. Like it's always us. We're the reason. And what I saw with her was just she was soul crushed. I mean, she was embarrassed, yes, but he broke her spirit on live. And I just couldn't. I think I told Tiara, I wrote a personal message to her. I mean, what am I like? Who am I? She probably never read it. But what made me write to her was just remembering being that age and how unfortunately I feel like boys were better back then. Like you got bears and you got you got roses and you got picked up and you knew the parents and all of that. And now everything is based on, do you like me, based on how many likes I have, how many people are in this live. And she was completely put on blast by her boyfriend in front of the world. So the entire comment section was just like, girl, leave him, get out, blink
Yes.
twice, all of that stuff. So not only was she embarrassed by what he said, but she also knows in the back of her mind that he's not good for her, but
Yeah.
he's who has accepted her in this moment.
in the moment.
And the rest of the girls in the comments were like, well, like him for you, boo. And that embarrassed her even more.
The more, yeah. And see,
It was
I
terrible.
think he targeted that. I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of women have made, because I know I made this mistake, you can't always tell men what has wounded you. You can't always be brutally honest about
Yep.
what wounded you, how you've been hurt, because they will find a way, not all men, but some men will find a way to use that when it's convenient. And it
Yes.
is so, and he did that. He did that. I'm sure that there have been times she probably admitted to him, what it was like for her growing up. She had a rough childhood. Her mom died in a horrific car accident. I don't
Mhm.
really remember what happened to her dad, but the scar on her face, her brother hit her in the face, and that's how she has that scar on her face. And what's she's using the wound on her face as a name that she uses as an artist. So she's already walking around and using her wound as a level of representation for who she is. And that right there shows us that this girl needs help. Like she really does need some help. She's wounded. And she did shrink into that little girl, and she looked as if she ran her hand. I think I said this earlier. When she ran her hand across her face, it looked as if she was counting and recounting, but I'm taking care of you. But I'm doing this for you. Am I not enough for you? Like I could see there was a full conversation going on in her head that she could not get out because like she's stuck. It's like she's got what she wants to say, but she's got all this hurt that's sitting in there where she can't vocalize. I mean, it's really just unfortunate, and I feel really bad for her. But she's got to heal. She needs
What
some
she,
serious therapy.
what she,
Serious.
I said that. I said what she really needs and what a lot of people need is therapy. Like you get famous so fast. Like someone like her gets famous so fast and there's no one watching her. There's no one telling her, "Look, you go live by yourself. Why are you laying up in the bed with this guy that he's probably already told you 1,000 times that you're ugly. That's not his first time talking to her like that. So there's that. You're thinking he won't do this to me in public. In public, if I ask him how I look, he's gonna be on code. No, because a terrible man is a terrible man is a terrible man. And what he was being himself, you know?
Yes.
He saw no problem with humbling her in front of millions of people, which is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
I feel like she wanted the validation so bad. I mean, she asked him several times. And not only did he say it once, he literally sat there and said that two, three times over and over again to make sure the audience heard how he
Yes.
felt.
He
And
elevated his voice. He projected.
yes, and I'm sitting here thinking, my goodness, number one, as a woman, you know if you've been dating someone for decent amount of time, what you can and cannot say to them in front of people. Let's just say, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I've ever asked my man if I look good, and he'd been like, I mean, sometimes I'm not gonna ask him that on live. I'm not gonna ask you that. First of all, I wouldn't be with you, but for real, like I wouldn't ask you that online. She asked him online, hoping that he would be nicer to her in front of company.
Yeah, I think she wanted a way because I told Tiara earlier. I feel like he's. It sounds as if, and I mean, maybe I'm wrong. This is his way of trying to break up.
Oh,
This,
he doesn't like her.
yeah,
He
he
never
doesn't like
did.
her at all, and this is his way of trying to break up. And in order, sometimes you got to get your feelings really hurt in order to
Well,
for her
she's
to
not
walk
going
away.
anywhere. Did you hear what
Yeah,
she said afterwards? She
yeah.
apologized to everybody, saying, I'm sorry I went live. I will never do that again. Sorry if I hurt anybody. That's how you know she needs therapy, because it's like, babe, no one was mad at you.
Nobody's mad at you,
We
and
don't
she's
want
used
you.
to that. She's
Yes, we don't want you in
her
the trash can.
Yeah, she her whole life she's felt unloved, and she's looking for that one person to love her, and she
Yes.
thought it was him. I want us to take a look at the video, but you guys in the chat, I saw Ed Norton said that we are reaching and we're getting a whole lot out of this video. Sir, yes, we are, but we'd
Preach it.
like to know we're not reaching. But what do you guys feel about this video? Do you feel like she needs therapy? Do you feel as if he's trying to break up with her? What are your thoughts? But let's take a look at the video and let's look at the body language more so what's being said. Really check her body language. Let's take a look.
Sometimes.
What that mean?
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes it's right.
Am I pretty right now?
No, not right now. Definitely not right now. Definitely not. I'm looking a little. Alright.
I don't feel like being on live no more. So you dead don't think I look pretty right now?
Not like right now. Like sometimes. You feel me?
Hmm. Well, I don't know what to think about that. You think I'm pretty, baby?
You're beautiful, man. Sometimes.
It's the sometime. Yeah, you're beautiful. Sometimes. Like, when
He
is that
came off
sometime?
joking.
Is
At
it
first,
is
it
it the
seemed like a joke.
sometime? Does the sometimes come with when you're giving me some money? Is it the sometimes when you're paying my phone bill? Like, when is the sometimes? And
Right.
I don't think these young girls realize that there's a difference between a man loving you and loving your hand. Loving what's in your hand and loving you are two completely different things.
Yes. And also, just watching it again and watching her break again, it's just like, uh, uh, and I cry for girls like that because it's going to take a lot for her to even understand that that shouldn't be acceptable. She is going to justify everything he does. She has already, like when she came back and said, sorry, you guys, I'll never go live again. She didn't say, thank you all for letting me, for letting me know how you feel. Or I agree. What she did was she posted herself graduating. She was smiling, she was graduating, and she posted something that made her feel good about herself. But then she also said, but sorry for going live and I'll never do that again. It's like that's not the issue. The issue is, babe, you have a man in your bed who has degraded you and wants to humble you in front of the world, and he knows what you do for a living. He knows that you're live. That is blatant disrespect. That is red flag 1, 2, and 3. Like there should be, the next day it should have been, thank y'all, I'm single, put him out. Thanks, ladies. You got my back. But she doesn't even comprehend that that's what the women in the comments were doing. They were looking out for her. There was not one person that was like, "You're a horrible person. What? You're ugly. You're." They all said, "No, you're beautiful. Take the trash out."
Take the trash out.
Here's a question though, Trinice, and this is something I asked Erica earlier before you got on. Is
Oh,
it is it realistic to be attracted to your partner all the time? Are you attracted to someone all the time? Are you attracted sometime?
you know what's crazy? Oh, that's a good question. Um, I think when you love somebody, it's the little like they can do anything, and your friend will be like, "Oh my God, isn't my man so cute?" You be like, I mean, you know what I mean? You're like,
Right.
other people don't think your man is as fine as you think he is, and doing the most mundane thing. So to me, it wasn't even about, and to answer your question, probably not. Probably not. I mean, but when I'm in love, I am. Like, you could do something so mundane. I'll be like, oh my God, look at him opening my door, taking out the trash. You're so cute. But that's me, and I want my man to feel that way about me, and that's a thing that I've set for myself. That's a standard for me. So if a man ever embarrassed me in public, on live, whatever, he's out. Like, why are we together? Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
and it's almost like if he can't accept you when you're just laying in the bed, no makeup, hair not done. I mean, I've had guys be like, I like you better this way. I like you when you're not on the red carpet. I love you more when you do your skin routine and you glowing and you just got on PJs or my t-shirt. If a man cannot accept you with your bonnet on, like, you don't need that guy because he doesn't really love you.
Yeah.
Yes, he loves the artist. He loves who she is when she's on camera, when she's on the red carpet, when it
Absolutely.
benefits him, because now everyone is looking at her and him. He loves her network. He loves her
Getting
resources.
a high. He's getting a high off of being with her, like beside her as she comes up, but
Mhm.
he's not in love or he doesn't have love for her at all, the person.
Oh,
He doesn't
no,
care.
You
nope,
know the
doesn't.
thing. You know the thing is that she doesn't give. Even if initially I thought it sounded like a joke. Initially, it was like, "You're beautiful, babe." Sometime, and then she kind of looked and was like, it looked like that was the banter that they had
Oh,
until he stood on business a little bit and was like, "Yeah, sometimes." And so, Trinice, what you also missed earlier, I was saying, New Yorkers are brutally honest. So sometimes it
and they play
isn't,
fight.
huh?
They play fight as love. They
Yeah,
play fight.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, right. And then sometimes, like, well, I'm just thinking this young lady, if you've watched any of her videos, if you've seen her as a rapper, she doesn't give vulnerable. She doesn't give soft. It get like sometimes she come off like very very masculine. So I just wonder if that's part of their banter. Also, if that type of energy is why he is not attracted to her. You know what I mean? Because I just wonder if that's a part of it. Because sometimes she's scary. Listen, I don't know if y'all you watch some of the things and be like, oh, that's a man
I
and a
But
don't
yeah,
woman.
follow.
it leaves you to wonder, like, you know what she does for a living. You know the music. You know the music. I mean,
I
and if
don't even
that,
have to follow. I don't have to follow, like, and that's a great point, T. But I've never seen this girl's videos. I don't have to follow her to know disrespect when I hear it. I mean, the
Mhm.
bullet struck me too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? As a woman, just like every other woman watching that, as a woman, you just go, oh my God, because you know that feeling of just like, did you just did, did you just call me ugly? Like, did you just
Yeah.
yes,
backhand compliment
every woman knows that wound.
every woman?
Every woman, even if if the bullet wasn't intended for you, you have a friend who went through that.
Yeah.
Every woman
Every
knows
woman.
that wound.
And
You
so I
know,
just
before we,
feel I felt like answering more of what you were saying, T, just now is answering it. It's kind of like how do I put it? He, no matter what, like talking about her being hard and all of that, right? Some guys
Mhm.
love that. Some guys love when a woman is not completely soft or whatever, right? So maybe they are on the same level when it comes to that. Emotionally, what I need is not a woman that's all like all over me, but I might want a woman that's just like, quit playing, and punching me in my chest as a man.
Right.
It doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
Like, what your type is should be protecting your woman, making her feel good. You know her weaknesses. I'm sure she's
yes,
told him what's
yes,
happened to her. And you just punching her and kind of like in that sweet spot because you know it's gonna agitate her. I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. It reeks disrespect. It reeks I don't like you.
Yep.
It, I mean, he's basically saying to her, I don't like you. I don't respect you. I'm here because you let me be.
You
That's what
let
he's
me
saying.
be here. Yeah, and I'm tired of being here. As a matter of fact, it gives. I didn't want to come here tonight, but you asked me to come, and I'm here, and now I'm gonna make you regret the fact that you asked me to come by.
It screams narcissist. It
Yes,
screams, oh, you gonna go live? I'm not changing who I am because this is me. It reeked that like
Right.
it was gonna break his neck to just say one nice thing about
one
her.
night thing.
You're
Yeah,
beautiful, period. And not
period.
be like, sometime.
Oh
And
my
then, like,
goodness.
and then when she asked him again, just to clarify, like, okay, I'm on live and you playing, but are you playing?
Yes.
And when he stood
Yes.
on it, it was like something else. So I just, so I
Yeah.
want to throw out just some of these comments, Erica. I see Chris Reed
Yeah,
said,
I saw that. I'm glad you
"I'm
ladies
glad
are
you
talking
ladies
about this
are."
subject.
Go ahead.
I just want to know, is a man entitled to just one woman?
Entitled.
Entitled. I'm wondering, Chris, can you elaborate on that? Because the wording is not, you mean entitled to more than one woman? Is that what you meant? I mean, and if that's what you meant, I mean, I think he lacks home training. Period. Yes, JW, he definitely, that young man did lack. Not you, Mr. Reed, but the gentleman in the video. But Mr. Reed, if that's what you meant, being entitled to more than one woman, I mean, that's a personal choice. I mean, I personally would not date a man. Yes, Samantha, this discussion is about Scarlett. Um, but back to Mr. Reed, yeah, that's a personal decision. And honestly, if you can find women that are willing to tolerate playing first, second, third, fourth, and fifth string, that's on them. However, I caution you, don't bite more than you can chew, because if you're going to have, one through five, can you finance that? Are you in a position to take care of all of that? Because, as a man, your responsibility is to provide and protect. So are you able to provide and protect one through five? Can you equally treat one through five the way you would treat one? Can you do that? I mean,
That's
and that's the
that's
question.
uncom that's just weird. I mean, I don't even know
I don't know where
how
that
that
came
relates.
from.
I don't know how that relates to this conversation. Somebody saying that if a man can be with one woman, I don't know how that relates to what we're talking about. But if we're talking about, I think that the women on this panel want one man. If
One,
we're saying like we don't want to be housewives, I mean, we don't want to be sister wives. We not
no,
in the
no,
poly over here.
no,
If that was the intent, like we don't
yeah,
know what other women are doing, but if you
not
want
you.
to date multiple women, you
Yes,
go do that, Chris. We
go do
giving
that.
you
Have a
you do
and
that,
good luck
baby. Like we giving that to you, but
and
we
good
don't
luck.
want that over here. So, Erica, if you want to reset and let people know what they watching and where they at, we
Yes,
at the start, baby.
you are watching Fly Nubian Queen After Dark. My name is Erica. This is the lovely Tiara and her beautiful girl. Your skin is gorgeous. We're gonna call it
Always,
gorgeous skin.
Thank you so much.
always.
This is Trinice Cobbins. She's a recording artist, and again, just a amazing talent. And we're talking tonight about how much does physical attraction really matter in a relationship. And if you want to know when we are going live and to keep up with us, make sure you text the word Queens. That is QUEENS at 87948. And if you want to check us out during the week, you can find us on Spotify Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock, and make sure you look us up as Fly Nubian Queen. Now, again, we're not really talking about money tonight, but if you want to get some financial resources and courses underneath your belt, there are some complimentary ones at our website at flynubianmoney.com.
You
Woo!
know what's interesting about being the whole idea of being attracted to someone every time forever, looks fade. And I don't think we'll always be attracted to the same things as you evolve. you
Right.
are attracted to different things. I would think,
Yeah.
right? If I start dating someone, it's like, he's so cute. But then after a while, it might be like, I love his heart for taking care of me. I love
Yes.
how he makes me laugh. When
Hmm.
I'm going through it and feeling vulnerable, I love how he holds me. That
Yes.
becomes attraction to me.
It's
So my question for
the
you ladies,
non-tangible.
yeah, is what is and even to the chat, like what's attraction really mean? You know what I mean? At this point.
It's the
It's
non-tangible. Yeah, it's the non-tangible. With me, where I am in my life, it is the non-tangible. I mean, I've dated the drop dead gorgeous guy, the model, the this, the that, and but they couldn't meet those things where I needed that emotionally. I'm a woman. I've heard many times, oh, women are too emotional. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my job. We are nurturers and
that's what
carers.
they say.
We we nurture and we care, and emotions come with that. I mean, so yeah, at this point, it is the non-tangible. How you speak to me, how you treat me, how you treat my family, how you treat those around me. The things that you say, being courteous, being kind. The character, the integrity. That means
Come
so much,
on.
because those are the things that are long standing in an
Yeah.
individual. Those are the things you may not even remember someone's name, but when you see them, you will remember how they treated you and how you felt in their presence. So that right there, that's what means the most to me.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. I remember back when I was in college, my mom said, make a list. Make a list of everything that you want in a man, right? And she said, be thorough. So I ended up writing down 126 things
Girl,
because
you have your Bible. That's a
well,
Bible.
listen, she said be thorough, and I was like, God, I don't want to leave nothing out. So, and let me tell you why that doesn't work. This was what I learned. I was 21 at the time. What I learned was because I ended up dating this really, really, really nice guy. And don't judge because I'm saying nice guy. And what I mean by that is this, right? He was an amazing man. To this day, we're still like cool. Like we're not friends, but we're cool, right? I told my mom, okay, I think I found somebody that is everything on this list. And she goes, oh, good, good, good. I said, except for one thing. And it was a very important thing, unfortunately, that made me not want to date him. He didn't have a backbone. So you can be sweet, caring,
Mm.
loving, giving, blah, 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 good looking, the money, all the way. When I say 125 things he was, but the thing that he wasn't was actually way more important. It had more weight. It was actually in my top five.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to, and from there I threw away the list. I was like, in my 40s now, I'm like, what list? Listen, we be happy if they can breathe, be respectful, have a job, not lying, not it gets so small. The list gets smaller and smaller.
Look, he got all his teeth. He got 10 fingers.
I was about to say these
Okay,
teeth got to be
401,
in your
you know,
mouth.
you know what 401k. Okay, great. Like, but ultimately, it is the non-tangible things. It's the things that make you or me as a woman feel safe.
Yes.
Because safety wasn't on my list when I was 20.
Yeah.
Safety is definitely on my
Definitely.
list in my 40s.
And
And
not having a backbone really can put you in a unsafe space.
I'm sorry, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And when I broke up with him, I felt bad about breaking up with him. I had anxiety about it because he was the first guy that really ever respected everything about me. But I think T and I've had the conversation before about dating guys that kind of get you to your next. And I feel like he was the guy that got me to my next. He got me to understand that, yes, I was dating emotionally unavailable men, but I learned the lesson and I found somebody that really liked me. We had a good time for a time. but he's not my forever guy because I still need a man that I can follow, that can lead, that has a backbone, that, I still needed that. That was very important, but it doesn't make him any less of a guy. He just wasn't my guy.
Sometimes relationships are for you to learn something about yourself. And if you
Yes.
have not had that experience, you wouldn't have learned, like, oh, wait, I didn't put 127 on there. Safety. So sometimes relationships will take you through something so that
Yeah.
you can realize, like, oh, wait, I need so much more. And you know what? Maybe 1 through 30 just really wasn't important.
Absolutely. And we change all the time. We're forever evolving. And the things that I needed in my 20s, I didn't need in my 30s. And the things I needed in my 30s, I don't need in my 40s. And so I feel like the list is ever changing because as a woman, I'm growing. So, which which is kind of why it's so hard to find someone that you can grow with because we're constantly evolving. But wherever I am, I feel like my partner, if they have the main things that I need, which are all the things that you listed, then the rest of it is much easier on you. You can kind of adjust to each other's changes.
What do you think are the things, Erica, and I guess the both of you, what are the things that you at this age you can take that maybe you weren't willing to take before?
I
You know,
can
like
take.
the things that you can take that you may have
Oh,
not taken before. What are some things like, that you're like, oh, but he doesn't have this? Like, what are those things that you'll actually accept?
mm,
Anything? Because you gotta have like good hygiene. Like there's things that I just can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't be like, but what are
yeah.
some things? Erica, Trinice, what are some things that y'all can accept?
Girl, I didn't know we were going here. You should prepare me for that question. I am ill
Things that you'll learn
prepared.
to accept.
Uh,
Because they
uh,
say every man is not perfect. You just said he needed a backbone. So I'm wondering, like, what is it that we can take at
I'm
this
gonna tell
point?
you.
Like,
I know one thing. I know one thing that I thought was so important. Um, a couple of things now that I've stopped laughing. Um, one of the things is I used to care about the way he dressed, right? And I remember an older lady saying to me, "Mm-mm, you worry about how you dress. You make yourself look amazing. And if that man wants to wear a tracksuit every day, let him." And I remember going, but no, because that's not, I mean, about that, right? I don't I don't care. I would rather him be him comfortably because the alternative is him telling me what to wear. And then I went, oh, yeah, no, because if he told me moo I'd be like, sir, absolutely not. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing. I have learned to accept the man because if I choose you, I'm choosing you knowing what I'm getting.
you gonna
So
buy
if you
him some
don't know how
slacks,
to
girl.
dress, you don't know how to dress. It's okay. But if you're opening my car door and making me feel like a queen all the time, I'm gonna be like, my tracksuit wearing king is here. Okay? And I might get you a flyer tracksuit, but it's still gonna be something that makes you feel good about you. So that was one thing. And the other thing is the looks, right? Um,
So he can be handsome sometime.
no, we're not talking about sometimes. Don't be
He
throwing
can be
that
handsome. Can
sometimes.
he, Erica and Trinice? Can he be handsome
What
sometime?
what I mean by that is when it comes to the looks is because I've tried very good looking men and I've dated guys that are not so good looking and guess what? They both treat you the same. So I've learned that looks is not high up on my list anymore. If he's handsome and he treats me great, amazing. If he's not so handsome and he treats me great, amazing. It's the feeling that I get. It goes back to that safety thing. But I used to be so hung up on we have to look good together.
Yeah.
It has to, it has to. We have to be couples goals. And this is back when couples goals was not a hashtag. I thought like that. But
Mhm.
no, none of that stuff. Outfits and looks. I mean, it's up in the air.
Okay, Erica.
The one thing I always felt, because I used to wear 5 and 6 inch heels. I loved, you couldn't tear me out of my stilettos. And now I'm not wearing them that high anymore. I'm about a 3.5, 4 inch. And I was always concerned about height. I always needed a man to be taller than me in my shoes. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm walking around in flats most of the time. I haven't put on a pair of heels this summer. I got my cute little sandals. And I'm like, you know what? Is height really, does it really matter? It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And another thing, I was always adamant, my last relationship, I was adamant about dating a man that did not have kids. I was
Mm,
always like, don't have kids. But you know what? I look back and I said, you know what? The men that were more emotionally available for me were the men that had children. I have a lot of male friends, and the ones that really know how to understand, sit, and listen, they have children. So yeah,
makes
I that
sense.
is yeah, that is no longer on my list. Like, nope, he doesn't have to be kid free, because you know what? I've learned that, and it's okay to learn. It's okay to learn. I dated 5 years in that relationship, and it was good until it wasn't. But yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, good until it wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like Chris wants some attention because what is this?
What if a man is funky? Would you still be in love with that man? Chris, go to bed.
Go get it's after dark, but you got to go. Like you got to go. No,
Chris,
no,
no, we wouldn't even make it to
no.
love, Chris. Whatever answer you want.
Would you marry a woman? Would you be with a woman that's funky? Probably not. Probably not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, ladies, let's jump into final thoughts. We're going to wrap this up. It has been Fly Nubian Queen After Dark. And we want to thank you so much for tuning in with us. And we were talking about how much does physical attraction really matter in a relationship. So, Tiara, take us home. What are your final thoughts on this?
I think the older I get, the more I realize that beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. But if women, if we're with men that really don't want to be with us, that are looking at us, but really looking past us, like not thinking that we're the most beautiful woman in the world or the most beautiful woman that we've ever seen. I think that you shouldn't be with that man. I think that I wouldn't be with that man if I asked a man if I was beautiful and he was like, "You look all right some days." Like it's time for me to go. As that's not what I'm looking for in life, and I just don't feel like that's my partner. So those are my thoughts. Queens, make sure that if you are with a man that does not look at you like he is the apple in your eye, please find another man. Right. If you are interested in knowing more about me, I am Tierra Williams, aka Miss Black Hollywood. I can be reached all across all platforms at MSBLACK Hollywood. And yeah. Thanks for attending our first After Dark. It was kind of good. Yeah.
Yeah. Janice, do you have any closing remarks for us?
Aside from thanks for having me and listening to my little old opinion, um, just to add on to what Tiara was saying, yeah, ladies, there is nothing wrong with being on your own if it doesn't work. It sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it starts off and it's really good. And sometimes, but when it gets to that place where it's not good for you anymore, don't be afraid to leave. It's okay. There's billions of guys in the world, there's billions of people in the world, and there is a match for you. And don't be afraid of that silence in between dates. That's okay too, but ultimately find someone that loves you inside and out and you feel safe with that person.
Okay. Oh, and where can we find you? Socials,
Social media,
website?
yes, Instagram. I am at Trenice1. My name is spelled there, but I'll spell it again. TRENYCE. New York City is in the middle. Um,
Woohoo!
and the number one on Instagram. And then you can find me on Facebook as well. I'm there under the same name.
Okay. All right, everybody. My name is Erica, and ladies, love yourself. Love yourself. And it's so important because we are accountable for the relationships that we bring into our lives. We're not necessarily accountable for what had the trauma that has attached to us from childhood, but grow from that and heal from that so that when you get into a relationship, the relationship is not based on a traumatic experience that you're having because you're going to keep repeating the cycle over and over again in trauma in a relationship. My name is Erica. I am the author of Faith in Transition, My Journey to 50. We want to thank you all so much for watching. Oh, and you can find me on all social medias at Miss Erica Renee or at my website, faithintransition.com. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you Monday. Don't forget, text Queens, find out when we're going live, 87948, and we are on Spotify. Go over there, look it up, Fly Nubian Money. And if you want that money resource, flynubianmoney.com. You guys have a great night, and thanks for coming in after dark. See you next week.